Josh Zodiac podcast. Charles, anything you want to add to that?
A little redheaded bitch got what she deserved.
Wow.
She went ahead and she had a dirty cunt, and she needed to go ahead and be planted in the back of her neck. And Bailey went ahead and did such things.
Oh my God. You fucker. Wow.
I did tell you in the chat, it is uncensored Chaz tonight.
Well, I think I like this guy. Holy shit.
I think I found my first YouTube short for the week. God damn.
Oh, fuck.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the greatest podcast you've never heard of. That's right, folks. This is the Josh Zodiac podcast, a podcast that has no real agenda and no real script, as far as you know. This is the podcast that forgot why I don't order Little Caesars pizza. It's not because they're trash. They're actually pretty good. It's because their sauce gives me the worst fucking heartburn, and oh, God, it's such a hard thing to get over. We have a very interesting episode. A lot has happened in the past week, not just with Raw and Smackdown. We did have some legit, wouldn't say it was a serious injury, but it definitely puts a damper on some upcoming shows like the Women's Evolution with Liv Morgan separating her shoulder. Before we get into all that, I do want to give a shout out to somebody who I've been following on TikTok. She puts out some pretty good content. I want to give a shout out to Girlies Love _Wrestling 2. She is on her quest to get to 1,000 followers. Last I looked, she was right around 500. She's already said she wants to do the podcast on a future episode. She's just trying to get her feet wet. Totally get that. She's new at this whole content creation thing. So if you are listening and you have a TikTok, just go find Girlies Love _Wrestling 2. Give her a like and a follow. Like I said, she gives us some pretty good fucking content. We don't see eye to eye on a lot. She's a big Jey Uso fan. I am not. That's fine. Again, that's the great thing about the wrestling community is that we can agree to disagree, but we don't get toxic. It's not sports like football or even baseball or basketball. So, again, on this episode, we will be talking about Raw and Smackdown. We did get Corey Graves back on commentary, which I was super happy about. We do see John Cena drop the fucking promo of promos. We will debate about that. We will talk briefly about the Liv Morgan injury and how it could affect the tag titles. And a last minute decision that I wasn't going to talk about, but I feel like it needs to be talked about is the whole situation in the Middle East and with Night of Champions happening over in the Middle East. So we definitely will talk about that very briefly. We don't get political. We're more about safety at this show, not political. We will. I've said this from the very beginning. I will not talk politics, but I will talk safety. And we want all the men and women in the WWE to be safe. And what it is they they're performing, what they. Wow, I just cannot fucking talk today. All the things that they do, performing. We want them to be safe. We want them to come back home to their families and their loved ones. So, but again, it doesn't get crazy. It doesn't get too political. Excuse me. But stick around. We will have Charles and the Psycho Nerd yet again on the show. So stick around and we'll be right back with those two dipshits as we talk everything and anything WWE this past week. We'll be right back. Stick around.
In brightest day,
in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. Again, this is the Josh Zodiac podcast. Before we get into our Raw Smackdown results and some news that's in even some topics that we weren't going to talk about, but Charles can be very convincing. I first want to introduce, he is the creator, the proprietor, and the host of his very own podcast, the Psycho Nerd Podcast. Nerd! I'm already tired of that fucking soundbite, and it's only been going on for 2 minutes. He is the Psycho Nerd.
You're a complete bastard and we'll hate it.
Oh, wow. The mixing board pulled the overseas shit on me. Wow.
Nice.
Wow. For those who don't know, that's the show, The Young Ones from Britain back in the 80s. You should check it out.
Love that fucking
Now,
show.
The co-host, the partner in crime, the voice of the voiceful, whatever, none other than the creator of the Charles Richardson Show, Charles Richardson. Wow. And again, I don't get it. The mixing board just loves this man. I don't get it.
They shouldn't. Remember,
I don't know what you're talking about. I feel the nerd love, man. I feel it.
That's just gas. First off, before we get into the results, I want to ask how you gentlemen are. No, it's been a holiday week for me. It's been a long 4 days off. It's fucking been beautiful. Got everything done the first day and have been doing nothing since. Charles, how has your week been going?
Oh, fucking wonderful. I mean, I can't complain, although I should.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, we will later, I'm sure. How about you, Psycho?
Yeah, just tired.
This town needs an enema.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree with that 100%. Let's just go ahead and move forward into the Raw results from this past Monday as my voice cracks as Paul Heyman's did on Smackdown. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The first thing I want to notice and say thank you for is Corey Graves is back where he belongs. He is back at the commentator table. He's at the big table. Fuck Pat McAfee. Get him the fuck out. I'm so tired of Pat McAfee. He's a fan that doesn't need to be on commentary.
Can we just keep...
You see here, boys and girls, this is what happens when you whine, bitch, and complain. You get eventually what you want. You whine, bitch, complain. You have a semi-attractive wife who also whine, bitches, and complains.
And
eventually, just because some guy has a random day off, you get to fill his spot. They don't let you go. They don't fire you because, God forbid, you actually may be worth something, but we don't see it. I don't know how anybody else sees it, but whatever. Mm-hmm. And then you get to go ahead and do commentary against the GOAT, with the GOAT.
And see, that's my thing too, is that with Pat McAfee, it's two babyface commentators. It doesn't work. It's two magnets that are at the same they just don't work together. If you put someone like Corey Graves or even Wade Barrett to a point who's heelish, it flows better. It's Gorilla and it's fucking Bobby the Brain. It's fucking Vince McMahon and it's fucking Jesse the Body Ventura. You need to have the heel color commentator. It just works better. And Pat McAfee is just a fucking fan getting paid to do commentary, and he's absolutely horrible at his fucking job. I know everybody loves Pat McAfee. I fucking hate him. I think he sucks. Get the fuck away.
Honestly, it was so refreshing to see Corey there. And, the back and forth between him and Cole.
Yeah,
honestly.
Exactly. It was definitely.
You guys are just jealous of Pat McAfee because number one, he was in the NFL. Number two, he basically took nothing from nothing and made himself successful in podcasting. Got himself his own radio studio, much bigger than a bedroom, with a fan airing your sheets, or anybody else for that matter, has a group of talented fucking people that go ahead and kiss his ass, which is the way a host should be. You should kiss the host's ass, and they do a great job. And you're just jealous that he is where you would like to be. Well, we all would like to be.
Ignorant slut.
I disagree, but either way, we can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree. That's fine. I did say I wanted to go through the results as quickly as possible, and yet there we are ranting on Corey Graves. That is the level of respect the man deserves. Anyway, we get the return of Asuka, and not only does she return, but she advances in the Queen of the Ring tournament. This was a fucking great match. I was impressed by this match. we got more Judgment Day issues. We'll get into that later. Gunther comes out, does his little thing, and then Goldberg comes out and says, "In Atlanta, you're next." And yeah. AJ Styles defeats JD McDonough. Bailey addresses the crowd, kisses their ass, and calls out Becky, who comes out in Chicago Bear gear in Green Bay. Applaud that. That's fucking beautiful. That's some heel shit right there.
I was going to say, that's how you heel right there.
And apparently it sets up a title match between Becky and Bailey next week on Raw. They also announced that AJ versus Dirty Dom at Night of Champions for the Intercontinental belt. Liv separates her shoulder in a match against Kairi Sane. I do want to talk about this briefly. That was a basic regular takedown move, and if you watch the slow motion of it, you see that shoulder pop out of joint. A lot of people are giving Kairi Sane a lot of hate, but I'm going to say that was a regular move. Liv was trying to protect herself, which you should in that thing, and she probably stiffened up a little too much, and her shoulder popped out.
I don't think Sane did anything wrong. I mean, it was just a regular. It reminds me of when Triple H tore his quad. It wasn't anybody's fault. He was trying to do a basic move. She was trying to do a basic thing, and had a really ugly injury as a result. Shit happens. You can't blame Zayn on that. I don't think you can.
Charles, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah. Kyrie actually totally went ahead and went after Liv's shoulder. I mean, the jealous bitch, she can't get that much. I mean, first off, number one, to go ahead and have Dirty Dom doing the dirty style to Liv, Kyrie is definitely jealous. She definitely wants to have some of that jizz on her face, and she can't get it. So what does she do? She's going to go ahead and basically separate Liv's jack-off shoulder, to prevent the good hand job to Dirty Dom. So you definitely want to go ahead and go after her, and now she's vulnerable. Now Kyrie can go ahead, and that's one down for the Judgment Day. She can issue a warning and say, "You're next." Do a Goldberg type, of course, in Chinese, like "You're next" or some shit like that.
Wow, racism on the Josh Zodiac podcast.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that she wants the dirty Sanchez. That's what she wants.
She definitely wants it dirty. I mean, come on. Have you not seen Asian porn? They want it dirty.
Charles did say last week with his little rant on my Becky that a heel turn was in process, and what better way than to say, "Oh, it wasn't routine. She fucking went for it. Fuck that bitch." Yeah, whatever. I don't agree. I think it was a routine move. Liv just stiffened up and separated her shoulder, and it didn't look that bad till I saw the instant replay in slow motion. I'm like, ooh.
It seemed routine.
Yeah.
But these Chinese chicks, they have that voodoo thing going on. There's got to be something more up her sleeve. Hint, hint.
I do need to point out that the opinions and views of Charles do not reflect those of the Josh Zodiac podcast.
No, because if they would, it would be a dead image.
Jey Uso advances in the King of the Ring tournament. Did we not see that coming?
We saw it coming, but it doesn't mean we have to be happy about it.
Yeah, exactly. And then at the end of the show, Seth and Cody stand toe to toe. Like, are we doing some sort of precursor, some symbolism of what's to come? I think so. Real quick, just the letter grade on Raw. Charles, what did you think of Raw?
Oh, I thought Raw was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I don't see any negatives out there, with the exception of the obvious. Even me being a heel right now to this show, I got to say, what the fuck is Goldberg doing out there? Come on.
Yep.
You're over there shitting yourself, trying to go ahead and bench press 300 pounds now. And random freaking injuries for just training, for crying out loud. And you're going to go ahead and get in the ring with the ring general? Come on. But I'll go ahead and give it a B.
Damn it.
Damn.
I'll give it B just because, it didn't last too long, the promo segment.
All right. Psycho, what do you think? What's your grade?
I'm not happy about the whole Goldberg thing, just for the record. But I don't know. It was a good show. I give it, I don't know, I guess like a B. I mean, there were a lot of interesting things going on. I hope Liv is not too injured. Honestly, I hope she's not out for too long.
They're saying 3 to 4 months is what they're saying.
For a separated shoulder, that's
I think there's more. I think there's more to it than what they're saying.
No. But straight up realism right there. Unless there's right, you said unless there's ligament damage going on.
Yeah,
a separated shoulder, you pop in, you're ready to go next week.
Yeah, it's true. But they're saying there might be something more to it. I don't know. They haven't really addressed it too much, but I like to think there may have been another injury that was about to happen anyway. It just that, separated shoulder, and by the way, you have a torn ligament in your shoulder or whatever. So, or maybe even a broken collarbone for all we know. We don't know.
And that's gonna affect Liv's chicken nugget serving hand too.
Fuck! It was her right hand, actually.
It was.
That's not just the chicken nugget hand. That's also the hand job hand. So
exactly, it's a double whammy for Dom.
Now, Raquel, you're up.
No, Roxanne, you're up.
Yeah, I know, Roxanne, you're up. I'm gonna give it a B. My takeaways are: we got Corey Graves back on commentary. The AJ versus Dirty Dom thing has been kind of cooking a little bit. I'm not the biggest fan of the way Becky's been acting lately, and we'll talk about that later. Jey Uso, we have a special secret opponent in the Fatal 4-Way for the King of the Ring, and it's fucking Jey Uso after he drops the title. 0 sense to me. Well, whatever it is. Whatever.
No. It's perfect sense. And the title shot. That's the whole point.
I just just not a fan. But I give it a B. Moving on to SmackDown, we start the show with LA Knight.
Yeah.
Calls out Seth Rollins, but we get Paul Heyman instead, and the rest of the Goon Squad. A funny moment is Paul Heyman's talking and his voice cracks, and then when he's done talking, LA Knight, I'm sure on the fly, fucking made fun of his voice cracking, and the fucking crowd just absolutely fucking loved it. Let's see. Asuka had back-to-back matches, one on Raw, one on SmackDown. Asuka advances to the Queen of the Ring finals next week at Night of Champions. We'll talk about that later on as well. R-Truth goes on a rampage backstage wanting Cena until Damian Priest is like, hey, bro, calm down. We'll go have some drinks after the show. Truth kind of lets it be. Nia Jax attacks Tiffany Stratton yet again, but when Naomi comes out for a guaranteed win with the cash-in, Nia stops her yet again. I want to talk about that. What is the fucking deal with that? Is it Nia wants to take it from her herself?
I think that's exactly what it is. She took it from her. Tiffy did so many months ago. She wants to humiliate her and take it back from her. That makes perfect sense.
Charles,
selfish,
you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Nerds Anonymous over there. I really do think that it's the only real logical reason for all this to happen is like, listen, you don't get to cash in until I get the belt back, and then you want to cash in on me, then okay, then I guess you're the next champion, because that would be twice Nia gets cashed in, and that's I don't know that's a road she wants to travel, but if that's the road she wants to travel, go right ahead.
She doesn't want to be the next John Cena when it comes to cash-ins. So, yeah. Charlotte makes Chelsea Green tap out, but Chelsea's little Secret Service attacks Charlotte. And by the way, that fucking bomb that Piper Niven did on Charlotte, that looked absolutely gross. Like, I thought Charlotte was dead after that. That's a lot of woman landing on Charlotte.
Not only that, but I think Chelsea actually did a good job of holding her own during a good portion of that match.
Yeah,
agreed. I was actually happy with it.
Alexa Bliss comes out to help. They have their moment where they face each other, and then Charlotte walks away. They're teasing something with these two. I don't know if it's going to be a future tag team, or maybe even they're going to have her join the Wyatt Six. I don't know what they have planned, but it definitely has me invested in what Charlotte Flair is doing, which is a first. Thank you, Hunter. Thank you, we appreciate that. LA Knight beats Bronson Reed by DQ since Braun interferes in the match, and Knight takes several spears and 3 tsunamis from Bronson Reed. That tsunami by that man looks absolutely gross. It's just, ooh. The fact that Seth Rollins forgave him for that to put him in his team, just, whatever.
I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins sees the bigger picture, though. He is a revolutionary for a reason.
Oh. That's whatever. Truth beats Cena by DQ when Cena uses the belt as a weapon yet again. I'm tired of seeing that, by the way. I'm tired of the belt as a weapon shit. You know, CM Punk comes out to try to fight Cena, but Cena takes Punk to Dick Kick City and puts him through a fucking table, and then he drops his own pipe bomb. And I'm gonna tell you what, y'all teased this. Y'all didn't give, because it comes on at 9:00 here in Idaho, so I gotta wait 3 fucking hours for fucking SmackDown. Meanwhile, you fuckers are already done. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I just avoid social media for about 2.5 hours because there's always spoilers. But y'all were like, "Oh my god, it was the Pipe Bomb 2.0," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then y'all were like, "We won't say nothing, but you have something to look forward to." And I won't lie, during this show, I was like doing touch and goes. I was just so fucking tired. I gotta truck through. And then I watched this Pipe Bomb, and I was wide the fuck awake, and I did not go to bed till 3 a.m. So this was definitely cheaper than coffee. But Cena drops his own pipe bomb, mimics everything that Punk said, but flips it over to him, breaks the fourth wall. He says hi to Cesaro, fucking Dolph Ziggler, and fucking Zack Ryder, but with their current names, which I thought was hilarious. And then tells USA at the end, "I don't need your extra 2.5 fucking minutes. Elvis has left the fucking building." And I'm like, wow. I don't know if that was last minute improv or not, but Cena can pull it off because he's been doing this long enough.
Let's put it this way: he was not looking at his wrist.
Nope.
He didn't have anything written on his body. So,
nope.
If it wasn't improv, it was a fucking gold.
Yeah. I do want to talk about the heel, or not the heel turn, the promo he cut before we rate it. Psycho, what did you think of that promo that he cut?
Man, the fact that it mirrored the original Pipe Bomb, but his own version, just like what you said. I'm just there driving around at work with this big smile on my face, like, okay, how far is he going to take it? And can we just acknowledge the fact that we actually heard Cena curse for the first time ever?
Yeah.
I don't think he's never cursed on, I mean, in film, yeah, but not in WWE program.
Not just that, but he looks at a little kid going, "Yeah, you hear that? John Cena just said a bad word." I'm like, dude, that is so Cena right there. It's so heel Cena right now.
Yeah, I loved every second of it. I actually watched it, I think, 3 times after that. It's like, because when I hear something I really like to hear, I really want to indulge in it, so to speak. And that was definitely worthy of hearing more than just once, for real.
Charles?
It was epic. It was epic to its own degree. So, yes, a lot of people want to say, "Oh, you were just freaking taking CM Punk's thing he did years ago and you just flipped it around." Yeah. So what? How many people can do that? How many people? We're over here thinking it's like, and not only that, calling CM Punk, "Oh, you're not anti-TKO, not WWE, TKO." No, you're Mr. TKO. You're no longer the voice of the voiceless. You're a freaking millionaire.
Yeah, that was fucking nice.
It just the ounce of reality does mimic what CM Punk did. Yep. And yes, what Cena is doing in his heel turn is very CM Punkish. It is, but I think he's making it work. I don't care what anybody else is saying out there. I'm hearing all this. Well, this is freaking lame. His heel turn sucks. He can't be a freaking bad guy. Because let's be honest, even with this pipe bomb, even with this 7 minutes of going on and on and on, which, by the way, usually after you've broken into a table, even the best in the world, so to speak, would usually recover after a couple minutes. CM Punk's still laying there like he's having a heart attack.
Yeah,
I never
Good
understood.
point.
So,
Yeah.
but anyway, he's still laying there and hearing everything, and I'm sure he's laughing in his head like, "This is fucking great, man! I wish I thought." Oh, I did think of that. The mentioning by names, the Claudio, the Matt Cardona. I mean, you're mentioning AEW,
yep.
which is usually borderline. You shouldn't be doing that. TNA, which WWE already has a partnership, so you can that's okay.
Yeah.
And Matt, who I think is TNA, I don't even really know. I think he's just more floating around, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But you go ahead and mention Claudio, and you're mentioning AEW.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa! And then telling USA to shove it up your ass for the last.
Yeah, that was for me. That was the biggest thing about it, was telling USA to shove it up their ass.
Yeah, that was it. The whole thing was fucking gold.
See, the difference between, and we'll talk about this later as well, is that CM Punk's pipe bomb was laced with, I don't like it here. This place sucks. I don't get the chances I want. Cena did it because he fucking can, because he's been the top of the food chain for a very long time. He's been there for 25 plus years. He can get away with a lot more shit than CM Punk can. That being said,
by the way, the whole tapping on the mic. Yeah, we're still up here, baby.
That was gold.
That just makes it even seem more that there was improv.
Yeah, and not only that, but it
on the camera guys by name. Stu, come over here.
Oh, that was cool. I like that.
Come over here, shoot this.
And it kind of goes back to a promo that Punk cut on Cena a long time ago. That you're a dynasty. You are no longer the Red Sox. You are now the New York Yankees. Calling him Mr. TKO and calling him a millionaire is that same promo, but with a company brand attached to it. It all comes full circle, and it was fucking brilliant. That being said, Charles, what is your grade of the SmackDown this week?
A+, just based on Cena's promo.
Yeah.
Cena's promo took whatever lag points there were in this and just brought it up to the ceiling. It was a great finisher.
Psycho?
Yeah, I give it an A. That promo really just pushed it right over, for real. And also, I find it clever how that pipe bomb situation happened with the same three people that the original pipe bomb happened, because our truth was involved.
Right.
I caught that right away. I was like, dude, because what happened last time is that our truth put Cena through a fucking table before the pipe bomb happened. And it was like, okay, that's just clever as fucking hell. That couldn't have been a coincidence.
I kept thinking it was Rey Mysterio for some reason, but yeah, you're right. It was our truth who put Cena through a table, and then Punk comes out. This is before Cult of Personality. This is back when Fire Burns was out, and he's wearing a Stone Cold shirt. Like, I don't got any fucking merch. What the fuck? I agreed. I give this show an A because the freaking promo, Asuka advances in the tournament. We had no fucking Goldberg. We had no Jey Uso in this show. This week, SmackDown was the better show. Period.
One quick note. Where the fuck are the White Six?
They have a match next week. The tag team does. They have a tag team match against the Street Profits for the belts, apparently.
Well, okay.
So I have a feeling the Street Profits are about to drop those belts.
It's for the belts.
Yeah, guaranteed. But now I'm going to bring back my old transition to the topics we have at hand. So let me move my mouse over here.
Just FYI, John Cena's pipe bomb has garnered over 51 million views as of yesterday.
And I feel like that's low. That is fucking low. Wait, did you just blow a snot rocket on the air?
No.
I just saw you. And then you're on camera.
It had to come out.
Oh yeah, this is definitely gonna be a YouTube short now. The Psycho blows his nose on the air. But 51 seems kind of low. I feel like it could be higher. It should be higher. It should be double that. but it is what it is.
Well, again, that was from yesterday at noon, which right
geez.
now it's Sunday 1 p.m. This was Saturday at 12:30.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's double by now. All right, well, we're going to transition over to the news topics of the week, and the first topic, yes, that was the Wonka flute. For those that don't know,
was it? Wow.
Yeah, I didn't recognize that.
No,
I was still thinking.
I thought that was the Chumbawamba song from Family Guy.
Which, after talking about the pipe bomb, I think we all know where the answer to this is going to go to. I'm going to give credit to this particular question to somebody I follow on TikTok, That Wrestling Babe. I believe she's in Australia. She was talking about the John Cena heel turn and how it's not what we wanted it to be. That being said, which is the weaker heel right now, John Cena or Becky Lynch? Psycho, I'll start with you.
I'm going to go with Becky mostly because of just how delusional her character is. And it just, I don't know. I mean, I in the past, I thought she was okay as a heel, but right now it's like, I'm not really feeling it. With John Cena, every time he goes out there, he just goes for shock value. And I think it's working. I said it before at the beginning of all this with John Cena's heel turn. I'm really interested in seeing how far he's going to go. And after this fucking pipe bomb that we just got, it's going in a really fun direction, I think. I'm enjoying almost every fucking promo he's been doing as of late. Yeah. The matches are still shit, but you know what? It's John Cena. What do you expect?
Well, he did promise he would ruin wrestling, and what better way to do it than to have
there you go. Then he's doing a great job. His matches are still shit. It's
okay. So you are saying it's John Cena's or Becky is the worst of the two.
At this juncture, yeah, I'll go with that.
Charles?
Oh yeah, Becky is getting freaking Spider-Man by John Cena.
Now hold on, before you cut a profanity laced editorial like you did last week, I do have a disclaimer for everybody out there.
Watch your language in front of the lady, punk.
Go ahead.
That's just throwing more.
I know it is. It is. God damn it! I shouldn't have done it because he's got that.
You just made it worse, man.
Grin. He's got that grin. Like, what am I going to do now? Like, I can't.
No.
And by the way,
I'm going to be nice.
Before you, I do have to mention this. An old friend of myself and the Psycho, Joey, actually not only subscribed and watched the show, but she made a comment like, "Oh my God, he said the C word." And I couldn't help but laugh.
What, Cena?
Oh, no. The See You Next Tuesday.
No, we're not seeing you next Tuesday.
You said cunt on the air. You said cunt.
Cunt. Oh, cunt.
Yeah. And then I replied to her, yeah, I didn't see that one coming either.
Yeah. And also too, Mr. Zodiac over here, he does do the edits on it. So obviously you didn't edit it out or beep it or anything like that.
Well, I'm going for shock value too. So, say what you got to say. I mean, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I do know I'm not going to censor what you have to say. I am not that kind of host. Yeah. Say what you got to say.
I got a lot of respect for Becky and what she's doing in regards to the heel turn. I mean, I kind of take that cunt to another level, a little bit higher on the platform. Redheaded bitch. I'm sure
she's not even a real redhead.
I'm sure the drapes do not match the carpets.
They don't.
As a matter of fact, I'm sure it's jungle fever down there. So, Seth, I applaud you every time you go ahead and try to navigate that field. Bring a mini lawnmower or something like that. But anyway, but the heel turn that Becky's trying to do. I think it's just pissed off because, damn it, I had a kid. Now I'm a mom, and this is stressing me the fuck out. So she's taking it all out on good people. And I don't understand that because, we used to like Becky. Becky was the man. And we're comparing the two, John Cena and Becky, who's the worst. Don't you really remember when John Cena first met Becky? Becky went ahead and cut a promo, says, "You're not the man anymore. I'm the man."
That's right. She did.
Remember that?
Uh-huh. And she went to shake his hand, and he went, and she just went. She went like that, and I'm like,
"Oh, I remember that."
Yeah. And she also stunned Stone Cold Steve Austin in a promotion when he handed her a beer. She stunned him, and she was like, "That's what happens when the man comes around." I'm like,
so I see what Josh sees in Becky, because he needs to have a dominant woman to just take him down anytime. And so basically, we kind of know Josh's personal life. He needs a dominatrix to go ahead and satisfy him. And Becky is that dominatrix.
No, I don't.
So I'm sure in some areas of his house, we got some chains, we got some ball gags. I'm sure we got some anal beads going on over there. Something of that nature there. Oh yeah, that's right. The question: who's the worst of the game? Yeah, it's definitely.
Went out of a total tangent attacking me about anal beads and butt plugs and shit.
It's definitely Becky. Becky is the least worthy heel right now. Could she be better? No.
Wow. Wow. I will say WWE, Hunter, whoever is in charge of this particular storyline, is doing something that I didn't think was possible. They're making me not like Becky. And that says a lot. Oh, shut up.
I don't know.
Shut up.
I think her strength is as a baby face and a heel. Even the last time she was a heel, I just wasn't feeling it.
Well, she wasn't really a heel. She attacked Charlotte. Nobody likes Charlotte. So it was more of a boost in the baby face. She attacked Lyra, who people like. Okay, fine. The heel turn does its thing. But I agree. Becky has not been, she's been the least believable heel. Cena has been there such a long time. He's already said, I'm going to ruin wrestling. I'm going to walk away with this title. You'll never see it again. And he's made good on what he said. He's wrestled like shit. And he's even said, I don't have to wrestle to win. And he's not wrong. And I do know a time when the Psycho would be fucking out of his fucking mind. I can't believe he cheated to win again. That's just fucking bullshit. And it's funny how now it makes sense because he's had an epiphany, or I don't know what the fuck happened, but all of a sudden now he's like, it's part of the story, so we'll go with it. You
reach a point in your life where you realize it's not that big of a deal. It's not worth getting upset over. Everything is being done on the show for a fucking reason. Why get so bent out of shape about it? I look back at the way I used to be, and I fucking cringe. Yeah. I am ashamed of how I used to act back in the day.
As well you should, sir. We don't need toxicity in the wrestling community.
Well, when you get older, you start seeing.
Yeah, we have enough of that from Sasha Banks and AEW. We don't need that here. By the way, is now wearing 4 belts. I know this is not a topic, but she's got 4 fucking belts in AEW.
I saw that. I'm like, do you really need that fucking many? I mean, come on.
I'm the Hulk Hogan of the women's division, 100%. Anyway, moving on to the next topic.
Hulk Hogan never looked that good.
No, well, whatever. Do we need a Goldberg versus Gunther match? Psycho, short and sweet. Yes or no? Do we need this match?
Fuck no. Meh. That's all I gotta say. Meh. I'm not happy about this whatsoever. Give me a break.
Charles?
Waste of time.
I agree.
We ain't found shit.
And that's the truth. They got nothing for Goldberg, so we'll just put him against Gunther. And apparently this is going to be Goldberg's retirement match in Atlanta on Saturday Night Main Event. And I'm like, at least it's not a PLE. I will give them that. At least it's not a waste of a match at a PLE. Do it a 2-hour window. Make it a 15-minute match. Gunther completely fucking destroys Goldberg. It puts him back to the pedestal he was on before he tapped out at WrestleMania, which is what they're probably doing here. So I just don't agree with this match. It's just a waste of time. He's already had his time when he fought Undertaker and fucking Brock Lesnar, the battle of the part-timers, so.
I mean, it's for the title, right? Or no?
I do not know.
Yeah, because if it's not for the title, I will take that with a huge grain of salt. That I can get around that. But if it's for the title, why waste our time? Come on.
Yeah, agreed. I agree. Yeah, I wanted that one to be short and sweet. I didn't want to give that more time than it needed. Moving on. Who did it better? CM Punk or John Cena, the pipe bomb? Charles, I want your comment first, and I want it laced with every profanity you can think of. I want it.
You're not going to get that, unfortunately.
Only when it's Becky, right? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, mainly.
Okay.
So in order to go ahead and actually give my honest opinion on that, you have to go back to what CM Punk did.
Mm-hmm.
Basically sitting in there, crisscross applesauce style, Indian style, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah.
Going ahead and just ranting and raving about, like you said, I hate it here. Vince is a douche. He's a corporate slug, whatever the hell you want to call him. He basically was ranting and raving in regards to the higher ups.
Yeah.
Cena wasn't doing that.
Nope.
Cena was going after Punk himself, a direct attack for the full pipe bomb that he did. So I don't think it's a fair assessment to say who did it better. I think each of them made their point, which is why we're comparing it to the original pipe bomb, is because it seemed that way. I will say this though, Cena doing it in front of Punk as he's laying there in convulsions on a broken table kind of seemed more intimate. Him going ahead and calling out the camera crew and calling out other people in other companies was a little bit, it sparked a little bit more.
Yeah.
But a lot of the things that CM Punk did, basically was unheard of at the time. So you got to give credit to each one. I will say, because this is fresher in our minds, I see the Cena one is a little bit better.
Okay. Psycho, give us your take.
The Cena pipe bomb, I think, gets the award for shock value compared to the original pipe bomb. The original pipe bomb, there are a lot of things that were being said. The whole time he was talking, I was agreeing with everything he was saying, and that's because I was already a CM Punk before this happened. A lot of people hadn't really gotten on the bandwagon yet, but thanks to Joey and Aaron, they got me into the whole ROH thing way before this happened. I was actually afraid when CM Punk went to WWE. I thought they weren't going to use him very well, which they didn't for the first few years. But, I was enjoying everything he said back then. But Cena, he went for the jugular, and it delivered in every which way possible. And it was just like I dropped my jaw.
Fuck. What the fuck? Wow.
Dropped my jaw several times while he was doing that. So, yeah, he gets the award for shock value more so than Punk did.
See, I want to go back in time to June 27th, 2011. Almost 14 years to the day. The original pipe bomb. Now, let me paint a picture. At the time, I was not watching wrestling. I took a very, very long break from wrestling at the time.
As we all do.
Yeah. And a friend of mine who watches wrestling was like, hey, you should turn on USA, WWE. This CM Punk guy is dropping a fucking massive fucking promo. And I had a roommate who watched it, so it was being DVR'd, so I was able to rewind it just enough to get to the pipe bomb. I knew, and again, like Psycho, because of Joey and Aaron, I know who CM Punk was from the Indies and from Ring of Honor and all that. He drops this pipe bomb. He drops this promo. And not only does he attack the fucking leadership, Vince being what he was, fucking Goofus fucking brother or son-in-law, and Stephanie and Shane and all that. He attacks the fucking fans, saying, hey, I hate all of you. You're the kind of people that'll wait for me in the airport to sign your collector cup and then sell it on eBay because you can't get a real fucking job. I'm going to say that the Cena promo, It was great. But it has nothing on the original pipe bomb because it had heart. It had some legit hate behind it. And not only that, because of that pipe bomb, a lot of people, including myself, who wasn't watching wrestling, made the leap back in. Because at that point we thought it was boring, it was tedious, it was shit. That put me right back in the fucking fray. And that was right before the whole Money in the Bank in Chicago, where Punk finally gets his just dues. It was just the Punk pipe bomb to me is here, and no promo has ever come close and will ever come close, at least in my mind. And I'm open to interpretation. You know, some people will think, granted, yeah, it is fresh in our mind. It just happened 2 days ago. But that pipe bomb from CM Punk lives in my head rent fucking free because it is such an emotional pipe bomb. He had a lot to say. He only broke the fourth wall one time for Colt Cabana, and that's a whole other story in itself.
You know why he did that, right? He actually lost track of what he was going to say, so he did that to kind of get himself back on track.
Yeah.
I actually heard him in an interview say that.
And that makes sense to do something like that. So, but yeah, I think Punk's pipe bomb will be cemented in the history books as if not the greatest, one of the greatest promos of all time. And it's up there with the Ric Flair with a tear in my eye, that kind of promo. It's up there. It's iconic. It's on the Mount Rushmore of promos. All right. I need to quit rambling. Moving on to the next topic. With Liv Morgan injured and out for, they're saying 3 to 4 months. I don't know how long it's actually going to be. Should those tag belts be taken away from Raquel, or should Roxanne Perez step up and help defend them and keep them in the Judgment Day despite all the bullshit that's going on in the Judgment Day? Psycho, take it away.
Storyline wise, I think that would make the most sense. That would add so much heat for when Liv eventually comes back. Like, okay, what the fuck? I hurt myself. I'm gone for a couple of days. I come back. What the hell's going on here? I think it's perfect. I mean, at first I thought, no, they should take the belts off. But no, you know what? Having Roxanne step up is a little bit more clever. And I would be behind it. Just to see how well those two work together, and just to see Liv's reaction when she does come back. I revel in how that's going to play out if they go that direction.
Mm-hmm. Charles?
Yeah, definitely keep the title belts. I really, if this is just a simple dislocated shoulder, that this shouldn't take 3 or 4 months. This should take 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
It shouldn't last that long. So unless there is something more major going on, she shouldn't take this long. I think this is part of this now a storyline when they're going to stay 3 or 4 months. So this has definitely got Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez either tagging up and possibly dropping the belts, not being stripped, just dropping them.
Yeah.
And then Liv and Raquel, and we have basically a women 3-way match going on, mud wrestling style.
Oh fuck!
Style.
Oh my god!
First woman to get naked wins. That's how it should be.
Fuck.
They ain't stripes, man.
Wow. Now, Charles and I talked about this before we hit record before the nerd got here. I thought strip them, be done, move on.
Yeah, strip them.
But
strip them.
But he brought up a valid point that having Roxanne help defend the belts that Raquel and Liv won together, it plants even more seeds in this deception that's in the middle and the heart of the Judgment Day right now. Finn Balor is the fucking puppet master, fucking pulling the strings. And then now you got Liv hurt. And let me say that Liv doesn't like Roxanne because it's Roxanne. Liv doesn't like Roxanne because she is seeing the same things happen when Dirty Dom was with Rhea and Liv was trying to pull him away. She is seeing the same exact thing. History will repeat itself, more than likely. And that's where this is all coming from. I do think that if they're going to keep the titles on Raquel and then on Roxanne has to be the one that gets pinned. to help generate the even more hate from Liv to Roxanne. Why are you here? Finn Balor is like, no, I invited her here. She's my guest. She's with us. Da, 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 da. It's going to come down to where it's going to be Dirty Dom versus Finn Balor for that belt down the road. And I want to add an extra stipulation to that is whoever loses that match is out of Judgment Day.
I'd love to see it.
I think that's on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way the seeds have been planted, the way things have been going lately. I just have a funny feeling that there's going to be, and of course, Dom and Finn are both being very two-faced to each other because they're trying not to show their hand. They're not trying to show how weak or strong their hands are. So it's going to come to, and now that Carlito's gone, and JD McDonough's is going to go on Finn Balor's side all fucking day. Dom has nobody in his corner. Nobody. So
really, no.
it's going to come down to Finn and Dirty Dom, and then Finn Balor is going to take that title from him. And then bye, Dom. It is what it is. So yeah, I say keep the belt on him. Let him work, And if it's going to be a 3 or 4 month injury for Liv, there's got to be something more severe. Because that's just what I read. Of course, everybody becomes a fucking doctor. It's like everybody becomes a fucking meteorologist when a hurricane is coming. Oh, it's going to go that way. Oh, it's going to go that way. Stay in your fucking lane. Shut the fuck up. Leave it to the experts. That being said, if it is 3 or 4 months, that leads right into Survivor Series. I'm just saying. This could be a legit injury, but they're going to prolong it so this whole thing can cook within the Judgment Day. That's just what I'm saying.
Well, how do we know they're not padding her time out specifically for the storyline? That could also be a possibility. Like, you know what, Liv, take a little time off. We got an idea. Let's just run with it.
I mean, and they've done it before. You are hurt. Take some time. Work on yourself. We got this. So we'll never know the real story.
Yeah.
But finally, a topic that I wasn't going to talk about. I've always said on this podcast, even before it was just wrestling, that I would never get political. However, in light of the shit going on overseas with Iran and Israel and all that, Night of Champions is next weekend in Saudi Arabia. The country of Iran has already said any American in that area has become a target. Now, my question here, and this is where I get super serious because I'm legit worried about these men and women that are going to be performing overseas. Should they even have Night of Champions overseas? I know they give a lot of money. I know they put forward a lot of money. Then they are very appreciative of the shows that they put on. But Charles, do you think they should even have the Night of Champions overseas? Should they move it somewhere here in the States?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and give you my answer, my personal answer. I'm also going to give you an update as of 60 minutes ago.
Okay, cool.
So my answer initially is no. I think the threat is far too great over there. It's far too close to Iran. It is not safe. I don't care how much assurances that the kingdom will be able to offer. Yeah. I do believe that I don't think they're going to bomb a WWE event. I think it's probably going to be more of U.S. resources, U.S. embassies, stuff like that, which is still terrible. But for the speaking in regards to Night of Champions and an event there in Saudi Arabia, that I think is not too high on the bucket list there for Iran to get back at the United States.
Yeah.
That being said, as of 60 minutes ago, they're still saying from wrestling headlines, they're still saying that construction of the site is still ongoing. No stoppages have gone on yet. However, they've reached out about what is possible that could be going on. Is there going to be any delays? Blah, blah, blah. WWE officially has not reached back out yet. They say they are monitoring closely.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's good that they're actually talking to each other, and they're taking it serious. They're not just whatever. They're legit taking this shit serious.
As well as should be.
Yeah, agreed. Psycho, what's your take?
I agree with everything that you're saying. I am genuinely afraid for our guys and gals going over there. I don't think it's a good idea. It's just not a safe environment right now, and I know that probably, like you said, it wouldn't be on the top of their totem pole for getting back at Americans, but it would, they would still cause a ruckus over here any which way you look at it. Any American gets hurt, Trump's going to take that seriously.
Oh, very much so. Yeah. Well, any president would.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Exactly.
That's what he said too on his 3-minute statement last night. Is listen, time for peace. No peace. We're just going to come at you harder and stronger.
Yeah.
I hate political shit. I really do.
I will say, I know I hate talking political, but then again, we're not really talking politics. We're just talking about. We're not really talking politics. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get that. It's not really talking. It's just the safety and well-being of men and women superstars that we all love and love to hate. I get that. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. At the end of the day, I just want them to put on a good show. I'm going to like it. I'm not going to like it. It is what it is. I will say, though, the level of fear that I have right now is the same level of fear I had on September 10th, 2001. I'll put it like that. To me, it's that severe.
September 10th?
The day, the 12th. Sorry.
I was going to say, what? You do something we don't, motherfucker?
Yeah,
no.
What the fuck, man?
No. I will edit that out. No, for the day after September 11th, I was like, whoa, shit's about to get fucking real. And it did. Took us a couple years, but we got there. But yeah, I think they could easily just put the show in the Performance Center. And, you're going to take a loss. That's fine. But I would rather take the loss and ensure the safety of my people than have them go over there and somebody get hurt or worse.
Now, granted, here's another thing too. Now, we got to realize too. You didn't have to put me full screen. I was going to make this brief, but the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, back when Vince first started going over there, obviously, there was some tension build up with that partnership.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, it didn't fracture the partnership. They've done matches over there. They've done shows over there without hesitation. The thing being is, I don't think you can cancel a show just like, yeah, we don't feel safe. We're not coming. No, that's not how these people work.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not how the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia works. You have a king that you have to go ahead and answer to. That if they're going to say you're safe, you come here and the people that are already working there and constructing the site may not be able to go home. So you got that to worry about.
Yeah.
Even though, and right now they're there. They're there working to make sure that this event happens. So whether they're putting a halt to all air traffic, they're stuck there anyway. Yeah. What happens if you go over there and tensions flare up even more? Some of your biggest superstars, your biggest wrestlers, they're there trapped.
Yep.
They cannot get home.
And it happened before, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
So, and Monday night they had to do a freaking Raw show with the talent that was back at the stage until they found a way to get home. That wasn't obviously a war. That was just they actually got held up there by the king.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, shit. I mean, why would you still continue that? Yeah. But they do. But yeah, to your point, yeah, we can put it in the Performance Center, sell about 500 tickets. You'll still go ahead and get the matches and everything like that. You'll still see it on Peacock or Netflix, whoever the hell it's on.
Yeah.
But it's not that simple to go ahead and just, hey, we're pulling the match from there. No. Yeah. No. You got people to worry about over there to say, hey, listen, we got to negotiate. We got to make sure that if we do this, we have the backing of the entire kingdom to make sure that we get home safe.
Yep. 100%.
And can you secure that? Because honestly, like we mentioned already on the show, it's not top priority to go ahead and bomb a WWE event, but that's where a lot of Americans are working. I mean, they're going to look at the embassy holds a lot less, and they'll go ahead and bomb the embassy.
Yep. true.
So
and I hate that we have to talk about this, but it's one of those things where it's the elephant in the room. It has to be at least mentioned.
Yes.
And again, like I said, I'm worried about their well-being. And I've been in that part of the world where you're the outsider. I've been to Bahrain. I've been to Jabal Ali. And it is definitely different when you know that you're not the minority. You're not the majority. You're the minority. You're a fucking guest in their country.
I will say this:
anything can happen.
Saudi Arabia and Iran, they're not friends, right?
No, they're not. They do not like each other. So one thing I
will say, and I promise this will be the last of my political thing. Israel and Iran already having their issues. Israel's already knocked them dead, pretty much. They have limited capacity. They do not have a great air force. They do not have a great, they can launch missiles all day long. Yeah. But if they do anything in Saudi Arabia, they're toast.
Oh, they're done.
They're toast.
Yeah. I agree. And then again, this is part of the reason why granted, we didn't disagree. We didn't argue. There was no heated tensions. I hate talking politics because I've lost many a friend to somebody who is far left and far right, and you can't tell them that you're in the middle because they're either far one way or far to the other. You can't be in the middle.
It's not about that, though.
I agree. I 100% agree. It's not. It's just
about plain safety.
Yeah, 100%. It's about. I don't give a fuck if you voted for Trump or you voted for fucking Harris. I'm worried about even Seth Rollins, who I despise, but even then, he's being a character. He's being who he is.
Yeah.
I want all of these people to come back to the U.S. safe and sound and back to their families. Period. That's all I want. That's why I'm justifiably worried about this.
And Becky, just for the record,
I don't
think you're a con. Honestly, I'm sure you're a great person. Wow. Josh needs to know. How much would it take for 60 minutes and his, well, maybe even 15 minutes, probably even less than that. But how much for 15 minutes?
Really?
Would Seth join, maybe sign a belt and I don't know.
Watch your language in front of the lady, punk.
I'm just saying. He knows how to lighten the mood, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but whenever he starts talking about Becky, this is what comes to mind. So
I watched that clip at least 5 or 6 times at work the other day. It's like, oh my God, I forgot my reaction to it too.
Which one?
The whole
Becky one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot how I reacted. I'm watching. I'm like,
okay. I'll tell you this when we're done recording. But which, speaking of that, we will go ahead and end the episode on that note. Again, we can be political and be friendly about it, but again, this is not political. This is just about safety. So, Psycho Nerd, promote your podcast, sir.
Well, it's a Psycho Nerd podcast. Unfortunately, there hasn't been any new additions in a while. My home seems to be more over here on the Zodiac show, but there will be more stuff in the future, I promise. It's just a matter of finding time. And I'm currently editing 7 different movie reviews right now. Yeah, I know. I've seen a lot of movies. I've seen just about everything that's come out this summer. And I'm working on that for my YouTube channel, which is the Repeat Movie Viewer. So.
Move this man!
Wow. I'm just saying,
You're a complete bastard and we'll hate it.
I find that rather difficult to believe.
I got a $5 in my pocket. Charles, promote your show, sir.
It is the
You tired of it yet, Zodiac? You tired of it yet?
No.
How could come on? How can you be tired? It is the Charles Richardson Show. We are live Monday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time till 10, or whenever you decide to just give up on the show, whatever. We're on Facebook, YouTube. Just search The Charles Richardson Show. And we're also on Power One Radio, this flagship station, power1radio.com. That's it.
All right. And you can find the Jazz Zodiac Podcast. Just Google search the Jazz Zodiac Podcast. You'll find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, and iHeart Radio. And this is the show that I was talking about. The young ones, every stupid episode, although they spelled stupid wrong, but I think that's the point.
Yeah, that was totally the point.
I know. I will have the links to both the Psycho Nerd and Charles's shows in the description below, as well as mine. But then again, I want to thank y'all for watching. For the Psycho Nerd and for Charles Richardson, this is DJ Zodiac. This was DJ Zodiac Podcast. We will see you next time. And until next time, on your left.
Nerd!
Motherfucker.
You so much as scowl at my niece or any other kid in this school, and I hear about it, and I'm coming looking for you. Take this quarter. Go downtown and have a rat gnaw that thing off your face. Good day to you, madam.
It's the Josh Zodiac Podcast.